अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरी आवाज़ दोस्तों तक पहुंच रही है? अच्छा, ओके, मैं फिर इस एंगल पे आ जाऊँ ना। भाई खालिद साहब माशाल्लाह यहाँ विज़िट पे आए हैं और हमारे बड़े पुराने दोस्त साथी करम फरमा। तो पहले तो हम इनको वेलकम करते हैं, फिर तमाम आप साथियों को वेलकम करते हैं। और बाकायदा आगाज़ के लिए मैं हमारे उस्ताद खालिद साहब दूसरे मौजूद हैं, ये हमें कुरान पढ़ाते हैं बाय द वे। उनसे दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि तलावत से इसकी इब्तिदा करें। आइए तशरीफ़ लाएँ।
Khalid Abdul Latif.
Abdul Latif. He worked for Pepsi, Yusebi, and he has been. आजो खालिद साहब बैठे ना, बैठे। आप तलावत कर लें, फिर मैं कैमरा इधर मोड़ दूँगा।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض وضعها للأنعام والأرض وضعها للأنعام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والهب ذو العصف والريحان وبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان كل من عليها فان ويبقى وجه ربك ذو الجلال والإكرام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم
Jazakallah alif.
Barakallah
खालिद साहब बड़ा शुक्रिया आपका, आप तशरीफ़ रखें। और मैं अब तकलीफ़ दूँगा वसीम हैदर साहब को कि वसीम साहब इनको वेलकम करें और जो भी एक छोटी सी गुलदस्ता है वो इनको पेश करें।
Mr. Wasim, he was in Chamber of Commerce.
He was a businessman in Saudi Arabia, in Uber, and Pakistani embassy used to come to his complex. इसको थैंक यू।
Jazakumullah alif.
बहुत शुक्रिया।
Jazakallah.
शुक्रिया। खालिद साहब की ब्यूटी ये है मैना साहब की कि माशाल्लाह इन्होंने जामे कराची से फारिग तहसील हुए हैं और इन्होंने ये राज कभी खोला नहीं कि ये जर्नलिज्म के ग्रेजुएट नहीं है। ये कमाल की बात ये है, अब ये ख़ुद बताएंगे ये क्या करते रहे हैं, लेकिन इनको उर्दू बहुत अच्छी आती है और हमारी दोस्ती की एक वजह इनकी उर्दू ज़बान से मोहब्बत है और माशाल्लाह इनका दिल हमारे साथ धड़कता है। तो मैं एहसानुल हक साहब को इनवाइट करूंगा कि वो आएँ और इनका ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन करा दें। एहसान साहब। आइए।
नहमदु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम। सबसे पहले तो मैं खालिद अलमैना साहब को वेलकम करता हूँ, उनके साथ समीर कुरैशी साहब को वेलकम करता हूँ एंड जावेद नाम फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सच ए नाइस इवेंट। बहुत शॉर्ट नोटिस पे आप सब लोग यहाँ आ गए, हाज़िर हुए, बहुत खुशी की बात है। बाकी खालिद अलमैना साहब, मैं नहीं समझता हूँ कि ही नीड एनी इंट्रोडक्शन। आप चाहेंगे सिर्फ ये ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन कर दूँ कि पाकिस्तान से इन्होंने पढ़ा है और पाकिस्तान से मोहब्बत करते हैं, अच्छे मुसलमान हैं और इस्लाम से मोहब्बत करते हैं, सऊदी अरेबिया से इनका ताल्लुक़ है एंड अपार्ट फ्राम ऑल ऑफ दीज ही वर्क्स ऑन ह्यूमैनिटी। जहाँ भी कहीं ह्यूमैनिटी इशू होता है तो उसके लिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, उसके लिखते हैं एंड आपको पता है कि हमारे स्टैंडर्ड पाकिस्तानी इशू पे उन्होंने बहुत लिखा और बहुत उसमें रियली अप्रिशिएट करते हैं। इससे कश्मीर है या पैलेस्टाइन है, तो सारे जो ह्यूमन इश्यूज़ हैं जो कि मुस्लिम उम्मा को फेस होती है उसके ऊपर इनकी काफ़ी ग्रिप्स है और ही इज़ बोल्ड इनफ टू राइट ऑन सच इश्यूज़ इरिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ कोई भी गवर्नमेंट हो। उससे चाहते हैं कि इनका अपना जो पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है ही इज़ वोकल ऑन दैट और थोड़ा सा आज़ाद ख्याल है, लेकिन मिर्ज़ा गालिब की तरह नहीं है। इनके आगे भी खाने काबा है और पीछे भी खाने काबा है, वो कलीसा नहीं है। तो इस लिहाज से आई रियली अप्रिशिएट। मैं ज़्यादा वक्त नहीं लूँगा। आपको पता है कि अरब वर्ल्ड में ही और बल्कि मैं समझता इस्लामिक वर्ल्ड में ही इज़ कॉन्सिडर्ड लाइक आइकॉन एंड गुरु इन जर्नलिज्म और हमारी खुशकिस्मती है कि ही स्टडीड इन पाकिस्तान, तो ही हैज़ ग्रेट लव फॉर पाकिस्तान एंड ग्रेट लव फॉर इस्लामिक वैल्यूज़। तो हमें इसकी कदर करनी चाहिए। सबसे बड़ी बात है कि इन्होंने आज वक्त निकाला, हम इनके लिए शुक्रगुजार हैं और हम चाहते हैं कि उस वक्त से हम फ़ायदा उठाएँ। तो बजाय फर्दर इंट्रोडक्शन के आई प्रीफर टू इन्वाइट रिस्पेक्टेड खालिद अलमैना टू एड्रेस द ऑडियंस एंड वो ख़ुद बताएंगे कि आज हमारे इसके लिए क्या टॉपिक उन्होंने सेलेक्ट किया है। थैंक यू, अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
एहसान साहब, बड़ा शुक्रिया आपका। मैं एहसान साहब का तारुफ मोस्टली हमारे दोस्त साथी जानते हैं इनको कि ये हमारे 1974 के इलेक्ट्रिकल के बैचमेट हैं और जद्दा में पीआरसी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है उसके कन्वीनर रहे हैं। तो 2009 में मैंने जब पाकिस्तानी कम्युनिटी काउंसिल के अंडर बैनर एक कायद-ए-आज़म डे सेलिब्रेट किया था तो मीना साहब की नोट स्पीकर थे। मैंने कहा, मीना साहब आप एडिटर इन चीफ़ हैं अरब न्यूज़ के, आप एहसान को जानते हैं? कहने यार मेरा नाम तो छोटा सा एक कोने में लगा रहता है, एहसान हर सफ़े पे छाया रहता है। अब तो एहसान भाई का ये क्रेडिट है कि इन्होंने इनके अखबार में इन्हें पीछे छोड़ दिया। तो मैं अब चाहूँगा कि आप लोगों के दरमियान ज़्यादा देर मुखल ना रहूँ। आप मीना साहब से डायरेक्ट सुनिए और बाद में जो चाहें सवाल पूछना वो भी पूछें आप, प्लीज़। मीना साहब, हुसैन साहब आइए।
Shukran, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here. Or Mr. Ihsanul Haq, as you said, I was, as Javed Sahab, I was in a small corner. और ihsan साहब हर पेज में माशाल्लाह हाँ छाए रहते, या glowing, yes. यानी पाकिस्तान You want me to talk about Pakistan?
Oh sure, whatever, you know, like something.
I have always.
You may have to explain something, the latest in Saudi Arabia, Pakistan.
यानी पाकिस्तान के साथ जो ताल्लुक़ है is only love. I am not from Pakistan. I am ethnically nothing to do with the subcontinent, but I love Pakistan and love the people there. Alhamdulillah. ये विकिपीडिया में और ये पाकिस्तानी लोग बोलते हैं आई स्टडीड इन द यूनिवर्सिटी जर्नलिज्म, ये सब गलत है। डोंट बिलीव एनीथिंग, क्योंकि ज़िंदगी में हम जर्नलिज्म नहीं पढ़ा। आई जस्ट लैंडेड ऑन अरब न्यूज़ बाय चांस। पाकिस्तान सऊदी अरब के लिए इज़ ऑफ ग्रेट इम्पोर्टेंस, स्ट्रेटेजिकली, जोग्राफिकली, इकोनॉमिकली, socially, because so many Pakistanis are there working in all aspects of life. Or इनकी contribution, and I always say this, to development of Saudi Arabia should be acknowledged. इनको acknowledge करना चाहिए. First group जो आया पाकिस्तानियों का, even maybe I was not born, in the late 40s after partition, 50s mein, they were engineers, doctors, technicians. 80s when there was the boom period, तो फिर वो laborers लोग आए हैं, workers, I don't like to call them laborers. So suddenly there were too many people, और इनके साथ too many problems. Before there were no problems, but then, you know, when recruiting agents, other things came in, kafil ka philosophy aaya, it never existed before. So relationship became very complex. But Pakistan has always been important to us. These days, as you know also, things have changed. All over the world, आप जानते हैं कि leaders change हो गए हैं, philosophy change हो गई, interest change हुआ. Focus today is on economics. So Pakistanis are saying, पहले आप हम लोग के साथ थे, आप अभी हमारे neighbors, eastern neighbor के साथ हैं. So I tell them, no, they are offering something on a plate. Pakistanis are not offering. It's unfortunate, but Pakistan will always be, inshallah, very close, dear and near हम लोग के लिए. But the problems of Pakistan are too much for anyone even to interfere के. रोज रोज आप जब any newspaper, bomb blast, this, terrorists and all, और एक है VIP from Jeddah, वो जा रहे थे एक project को उन्होंने finance किया पाकिस्तान में. So they asked him to go. So he sent the money. He said, "Thank you, I don't want to go." Mr. Ihsan knows him. So security fears in Pakistan. The first thing when you say Pakistan, you say security fears. Now, आपके neighbor के पास worse security fears. बस perception जो है पाकिस्तान का, the perception is a country that is lawless and all, and you are reading it. We hope that things will change in Pakistan, and we want it to be there. Somebody asked me whom you are siding with. We are Muhibba Pakistan. Whoever is there, we will love him. This is the thing about Pakistan. About Saudi Arabia, also there are so many misconceptions आजकल. You know, I read sometimes ये जो half truths जो होते हैं कि आजकल गाना, नाच, ये clubs खुल गए, all this nonsense. Now the same people, when the Mutawwa was there, and if he's walking with his wife, Mutawwa रोकते थे, तो you say, Astaghfirullah, what kind of country? Mutawwa is everywhere. Restriction, we can't go. People checking with igamas. Now when Mutawwa has gone back to the barracks, disappeared, फिर भी वो लोग शोर मचा रहे. So let me assure you, Islam is strong. People are going to mosques. आपके Haram Sharif is full. طبعا, of course, during COVID we stopped because for the general welfare of everyone. And I can tell you, and I'm not a government person, कि जो measures and people are there in Saudi Arabia, the anti-COVID measures were so strong that the numbers were down. In Italy, everybody they was dying and all. Of course, it looked harsh, you know. But let me tell you that the COVID containment in Saudi Arabia was among the top 2 in the world, if not the top. You have a new leadership. Before, the average age of leaders maybe was 75, 80. Now ministers are 35, ambassadors are 34. And a new inclusion hai, women are there. So you will find woman head of chairman of a bank. Woman is directing a ministry, deputy ministers, head of sports. And this is not cosmetic to show the world that, you know, among the accusations, we are putting this so that the West will pat us on the back, oh, you are doing well. No, this stems out of the belief that agar half population ko you are depriving them, then that society will be doomed. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's first boss was a lady, Sittana Khadija. He used to work for her. And his title was Al-Amin, the truthful. So you see, the idea that women cannot participate has come with the colonial period. In the last 200 years, Muslim women were in the background, niqab, wearing this and all. Today, Saudi women are second to none, alhamdulillah. उनका इस्लाम भी है, नमाज पढ़ते हैं. We were sitting at a cafe, adhan, before they used to close the cafes. And Musani Sahab knows this and turn the people who are having a cup of tea, azan comes, please go out. Now they stopped. But at the same time, those who want to pray will take the sujada, now it's a fashion, and pray on the side. So la ikraha fi deen, there is no compulsion in religion. Lakum deenukum waliya deen. All these things are now happening in Saudi Arabia. I'm a conservative and practicing Muslim, alhamdulillah. I have never done anything that I think is outside the parameter of Islam. Maybe I did, I don't know. But I am very satisfied as the 70-80% of people in Saudi Arabia about what's happening. So we read, aap to padhte bhi hain ki all this, what is happening, do not believe them. If you want, you can phone any Saudi and find out. We are satisfied. I am satisfied. Before, my daughter could not walk from her house to us in the time of Mutawwa, if you remember. Now she drives a car from here to Taif at 11 p.m. at night and comes out. No rapes, no molestations, anti-harassment laws. So these are the positive features. Here the West is criticizing, and even some of our Pakistani brothers and Indian brothers, oh, kya hua, khuda ki panah, you people have become too modern, girls are coming. But when the girls were in the box, you were telling us that you are regressive. Now girls have come out. You see? So these are the good points. Everywhere you go, you see young people. When I walk to an office, as if I'm a dinosaur, you know. So these are some of the issues. So any question on Saudi Arabia, if you would like, I will let you know. There are two or some other issues. For example, political issues. You read also, and this is again off the record, that Saudi Arabia asked Pakistan to return the 6 billion. Now, this money goes through IMF, or यहाँ financial लोग भी आप हैं. You don't give it like this, a check. It goes to IMF, it goes to World Bank. You just don't pick a phone and say, return my money. All kinds of rumors are happening. In Pakistan, I mean, the papers are rumor factories. Ayub Khan once described Karachi as a rumor factory. That's why he went to Islamabad. You know? So you have to understand that things in Saudi Arabia are going. Tab'an, it can be improved. But if you want to know anything, ya aap kuch puchne chahte hain, then you can ask the people, not the government, you can ask people, ordinary people, we can give you names, newspapers and others. I am a senior citizen. I consider myself that I'm lucky to have seen the change before I go away. So Saudi Arabia hua phenomenal. In 4 years, the changes that have happened did not happen in the 40 years before. Believe me. And I'm not talking कि औरत लोग गाड़ी चला रहे या cinema halls and these and things. There were cinema halls, but now they're out in the open. And the government or the authorities check कौन सी film आ रहे हैं, कौन सी film जा रहे हैं. So these are the positive features of Saudi Arabia. As far as Pakistanis abroad, because I deal with Pakistanis in the USA a lot, they are not united. This is the problem. There are many associations, but now over the past 4 or 5 years, I see more cohesion. Doctors, engineers, educated people are being united and all. वहाँ पहले Pakistanis represent PPP, some people represent Nawaz, some PTI, and they don't know the danger that is coming. 9 years ago, I warned, writing me, the Gulf governments, some of the officials, that the Indian lobby, the Hindu lobby, will be the strongest lobby after the Jewish lobby and the National Rifle Association. Are you familiar with the NRA? Yeah. You know, National Rifle Association. And it is now happening. 4 or 5 इनके पास governors हैं, 3-4 senators and Congress people, they are all over the place. You cannot go into politics here for one reason, that age is a factor. Your kids can become councilmen, superintendent of the schools, be part. Don't worry about niqab and hijab and wearing. This is nonsense. As long as a woman is modestly dressed, Khalas, forget it. You have another challenge, social challenge. This LGBT forcing it down the throats of transformation. Today I was watching in the morning in the TV, yani astaghfirullah, they're becoming worse than Qawm Lut. So you have a challenge with your children, but you have to put your children up unko public life mein, election mein, to understand, और inferiority complex उनसे निकालो. Believe me, यहाँ जो आपको chance मिला है मुसलमानों को, Indians, Pakistani, is a great chance. The playing field is level. Muhammad Ali Clay was the grandson of a slave. Yet when he died, presidents and prime ministers and people from the world came late, not because of his boxing, because of his mouth. He was a scholar. काफ़ी कम लोग जानते हैं कि he was also author, writer, poet, mashallah. A great man. So you can produce, आपके बच्चे, grandchildren and all should be encouraged to part, not just to be in the ghetto as a people come. So आपके chances बहुत हैं, and education, akhlaq, iman, अगर ये हो तो I think the sky is the limit. Thank you.
Khalid Sahab, we wanted to listen your opinions, suggestions about Pakistan and where we stand, where we should stand. तो थोड़ा सा उस पर भी बात कर लें. पानी दूँ मैं आपको? बताइए.
Yes, I think you should start asking questions.
Start asking questions and then we will go for Pakistan later. Please. Yeah, please go ahead.
2 minutes.
खालिद भाई के बारे में ऐसा मैंने तो आपको बता दिया ब्रीफली समंदर को पूजने में बंद करने वाली बात है. खालिद भाई का ये समझ लीजिए हमारे एक्सपेक्टेड जितने भी इंडो पाक के वहाँ मुसलमान या नॉन मुस्लिम लोग हैं उनके लिए बहुत बड़ा ऑनर है अगर इनके मिले हैं या इनकी इन्होंने लिखा बहुत बड़े लिखा भी है साइड में लिखा भी बहुत बड़े हैं. इन्होंने हमेशा वकालत की है एक्सपेक्टेड जो बाहर वाले हैं उनकी सऊदी अरब में वकालत की कि यही असल नेशनल लीडर है, यही लोग इन्होंने हमारी इकोनॉमी को डेवलप किया, इन्हीं लोगों ने काम किया. मैं सल्यूट करता हूँ खालिद भाई को. इन्होंने हमेशा अपने एक्सपेक्टेड के एफर्ट्स को सराहा. याद रखिए ये इंसानियत इनका सबसे बड़ा मदद है. अब अक्सर मुझे भी कहते यार हिंदू भगवान कहते हैं, क्रिश्चियन गॉड कहते हैं, मुसलमान अल्लाह कहते हैं, लेकिन तीनों का ये है कि वर्शिप टू गॉड. तीनों का मकसद एक ही है और इस मकसद के तहत ये खालिद साहब ने काम किया है. सर मेरे 2 छोटे से सवाल है सर, अगर आप बताना चाहें तो. पहला सवाल ये कि 2030 का जो विजन आया है हमारा MBS का 2030 का, और उसने सुना है कि 0 एक्सपेक्टेड, बाहर में कोई आदमी कुछ वर्क नहीं होगा. तो एक तो ये आप इसको किस तरह देख रहे हैं. और दूसरा सवाल ये कि सर चीन जो है यूनाइटेड किंगडम में वहाँ बादशाह है, बादशाह है, सऊदी अरब में बादशाह है, लेकिन आपको लग रहा है कि नियर फ्यूचर कोई वहाँ इलेक्शन होकर कोई प्राइम मिनिस्टर सिस्टम कोई अडॉप्ट होगा या कोई ऐसी डेमोक्रेसी आएगी?
Zero expatriates in any country is impossible. And as I speak to you, new projects हो रहे हैं, oil and gas के, IT, उन्होंने जो ये even now, but you also have to force Saudis to work. अभी आप जाते हैं तो waiters are Saudis, baggage handlers are Saudis, क्योंकि कोई इस abnormal की country में काम नहीं करेंगे. And this, lofty look at down, कि I am a Saudi, that I will not work. No, they have to work. 2 family incomes. You see, both the husband and wife have to work. The whole world has changed. So it is not Saudi Arabia. ये economic realities जो है, it has forced us to adopt. But it does not mean, अब तक visas आ रहे हैं, artificial intelligence वालों को रियाद में financial district बन रही है. So you will always have people coming and going. But the idea that somebody will come, become a kafil, bring 10 people to work with him, that has gone. Because it's a sin, come on, to do that. But it does not mean. As far as political development is concerned, things are changing. There's a new crown prince, and jo changes, as I told you, happened in the last 4 years, never happened before. So I cannot predict what is going to happen in the future. But let me tell you that today, if there are elections, the youth who are 70% and the others will vote for the crown prince. Because you are breathing freedom. This is very important. They are coming, they can go. Women can travel and go to Riyadh, come here. People in the Shura. My daughter was the youngest in the Senate. For years she tried to open basketball. Today, Saudi basketball team, football, I'm talking about women. They are going and coming. So your advancement जो हुआ Saudi Arab में has even exceeded, unfortunately, yani Pakistan, where women are, still the mental thing. And the funny thing is that the Saudis, even the people living in the rural areas, accepted the role of women. So ye mere khayal mein the biggest gift that we have got in the 4 years, the acceptance of women and their progress and their support.
खालिद साहब आप पूछना चाह रहे थे, प्लीज़ गो अहेड। इनका नाम भी खालिद है।
It had an impact not only on Saudi Arabia or the world, it had an impact on the world. The wheat, even Egypt now has some kind of wheat shortage, because Ukraine was a breadbasket, as you know. That. Secondly, the Arab world did one thing good, they remained neutral. But you have to understand history, Second World War and the First World War were in essence not world wars. These are the white man says is the world war. They were internal civil wars between the European states. But because Britain controlled India, India was asked to come in. Then Singapore, Malaysia was controlled by, Indonesia was controlled by the Dutch. Now the Europeans are fighting, the white man against the white man, the blue-eyed boy against the blue-eyed boy, the Christian against the Christian. So it's their war. So we have to be very careful. Yes, we are affected. Some countries around Turkey are affected also for wheat, and Europe is affected. But the good thing is that the Arab world and even the Muslim world has been very neutral.
MashaAllah.
I have a question. Just Saudi Arabia is a leader, Muslim world's leader. We regard that because of Haram Sharif and other things. See, anything is being done to unite Muslims which are not united at this stage. So is there Saudi Arabia taking any leading role?
Wallah, we are, but there were so many divisions from before. In Africa, there was division between the African countries, and then in Asia, there's division and all. But there is, because you see, people talk about Saudi Arabia and the neighboring countries. For Saudi Arabia, the neighboring countries, if they are secure, stable, strong, economically balanced, is good for us. You see? So this is very important. But there are so many issues in the Muslim world that you cannot take a magic stick and it will go away. As you have seen in North Africa, the Saharan conflict, Saudi Arabia has nothing to do, we mediated. I was checking the role of Saudi Arabia because I'm a critical person. In 1954, जब Saudi Foreign Ministry में सिर्फ 50 जन थे, there was a conflict between Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia. Afghanistan and Pakistan. There was a fakir called the Fakir of Ippi. He raided Peshawar from Kabul. So the Saudis sent, I think it was Prince Mohammed bin Abdul Aziz, to try to patch up. So you can see our policy of getting people together goes back when we were just a small country. But I hope and pray that things will be done.
Yeah, my current situation is India में थोड़ा मुस्लिम के साथ
जब ये लोग ने रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम पर उन्होंने अटैक किया, there were big protests and also very strong statements. And this is the reason, because of Saudi statement, that उन्होंने withdraw किया and उनको suspend. Maybe these are cosmetics just to show, but as I said, that there should be more action and people should know about the new India. People, when they think of India, they think of Gandhi and Nehru and all, but those days are gone. Those days are gone now, forever. They will never come back, because you have created 300 million militants who are howling on the road like creatures, wolves to eat. how do we deal with them? This requires diplomacy, firmness, समझे? और हमारे जो diplomats, they should know what's happening.
Indian Muslims are like 220 million people, and for last 8 years they have been marginalized as third-class citizens. So whenever there is a fiasco, police makes 100% cases against Muslims, wrap them up and put extreme charges on them. So even if the charge is wrong, it takes 1 year to 1.5 years to come out of the
5 years.
5 years. So in that case, many countries in Middle East and West say this is their internal problem. It is not an internal problem if there is a human right abuse and somebody has been brutalized. So it becomes an international community problem. It's a human problem. So why the countries in Middle East leave it as an internal problem? It is not internal to India. And 220 million people, they want to bring them and diminish them and put them in a concentration camp. That's their dream. But if I'm Indian Muslim, every day I would be living like a humiliated life. It's a lot of humiliation on the street, in the workplace, in the factories. So it's very painful to live and exist.
We were talking yesterday in the mosque how we can approach human rights organizations, because organizations are more effective. So we have to reach out, and we made a plan how to deal on a media level, government level, official level.
Right.
And I think this is how we should start. Lobbying level, yes.
And
कमाल साहब आप कोई सवाल पूछना चाहें? कमाल साहब हमारे he is a very senior engineer and he was president of NIDAC past few years back, and you can ask any question, Kamal sahab.
What's in NIDAC in UAE? In UAE?
No, not here. He worked in Libya. He worked in Pakistan.
जी
किसी एक चीज़ पर एक्शन नहीं लेते हैं। इस दफ़ा मुझे बड़ी खुशी हुई कि हिंदुस्तान में रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के खिलाफ जो बात की गई, तो सारे मुल्कों में, सारे मुसलमानों ने और सारे मुसलमान ममालिक ने उस पर काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग किस्म का रिएक्शन दिखाया। तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि मुसलमानों का जो ब्लॉक मुसलमानों के लिए कोई एक सा स्टैंड लिया करें ताकि दुनिया में उनका वो जैसे देखिए अमेरिका किसी भी बात पर सैंक्शन कर देता है तो सारे मुल्कों को मना कर देता है कि फलाने उससे यह काम ना करें। इसी तरह मुसलमान ममालिक भी कुछ इस तरह कर सकते हैं कि जो उनके इंटरेस्ट के खिलाफ कुछ बातें हो रही हों या तो उस पर कम अज़ कम कोई स्टैंड एक यूनिफाइड हो सके, जैसे इस्लामिक कॉन्फ्रेंस की या जो भी। तो इस तरह का आप फ्यूचर क्या देख रहे हैं कि क्या कुछ मुमकिन है ऐसा होगा?
I think it will be, क्योंकि जो इंटरनेशनल लॉबी ग्रुप्स आर मोर स्ट्रॉन्ग। जैसे आपने देखा जब उन्होंने जो फ्लॉयड को मारा, सो ब्लैक लाइफ मैटर्स, so it became so powerful कि even Senate अमेरिका में और कांग्रेस were listening. So we have to create such type of things. और अभी ये शुरू हो रहा है कुवैत में, even in other countries, Indonesia, there are people who got together और वो force कर रहे हैं Indians को to accept and apologize. But governments are slow all over the world. But जो non-governmental organizations जो हैं, they are much more effective. And they can play a better role. और ये जो boycott और the people who spoke और जो highlight, ये Lawyers Association कुवैत की, उन्होंने they asked for boycott. That's why the others began to respond fast.
दोस्तों में से कोई और साहब सवाल करना चाहें प्लीज़ फील फ्री। मैं अगर आप लोग पूछना चाहें तो मैं चाहूँगा इनसे दरख्वास्त करना कि पाकिस्तान, अच्छा आप पूछ लें फिर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं।
Just one minute. I'd like please introduce yourself also. Khalid
Okay.
Saab.
My name is Tanveer Akhtar. I lived 4 years in Saudi Arabia and 9 years in Kuwait. So I had good exposure and I was a reader of Arab news when I was there.
better.
So my question is how much Saudi Arabia is shifting from oil income? That means in GDP it's like 30% service and manufacturing from public and 70% is from oil. So what's the split right now?
Well, I cannot give you exact figures, but it's a big split. Before, आप जानते थे, red tape, bureaucracy was there to set up a factory. Now it's so easy to go and set up factories. There's King Abdullah Economic City. पहले थे Yumbo और Jubail, but now there are more. There's the financial center, banks भी आ रहे हैं. So these are some of the issues. So you have to, because oil is a commodity that will one day be in the background. Not now, not 10 years. And this is what the Crown Prince said. We have to feel the pain to get gain. You see? So this is, I think, very important. Service industry. Aap Hajj ko bhi, Umrah ko, we are making it into a formal, touristic type of thing. Or so many people are investing. काफ़ी new चीज़ें हुए और या कोई भी contract government का होता है, so they the other party has to do something in Saudi Arabia.
जी जावेद साहब प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस करा लें आप.
My name is Javed Hanif. मैं Saudi Arab Public Scholar साहब, so I have some exposure there. I have just a very general question that nowadays a lot of rumors in there about Israeli and Yehudi and Saudi relations and the political change which is coming in the Middle East. And this looks to be very important for the Muslims in future. So just your comments.
Wallah, I don't think so. I also read in papers, Wall Street Journal में, New York Times में, but many of the substance नहीं है. Saudi stand is very open. No relation until Articles 338 and 224 of the UN Resolution 1967, two-state solution, recognition of Palestinian rights, and Jerusalem as the capital of Palestine. This is there from 2002, and this has not changed and will never change. Baki to sab rumors and all they are coming in. This is due. This stand is there. Mark my word. 338 and 242 resolutions, two-state solution, Jerusalem. Then we can talk about that.
So, Tanveer again. Why Joe Biden recent trip to Saudi Arabia was cancelled? It did not happen. He wanted to come to Saudi Arabia.
Also, nobody took his call.
Really? No.
First time the Saudi foreign policy.
Biden announced that he wanted to go there.
The first time Saudi policy is assertive. You cannot. I mean, you have a young leadership. They will not stand for nonsense. The Arab world, by large, people are polite.
Yeah.
But right now, you cannot be polite. So, I don't know, it's finally cancelled or not. But today, I heard that they said he's not going.
Yeah, he's not going.
आरिफ साहब आप इंट्रोड्यूस करा के सवाल पूछ लें.
My question is, do you think Saudi will recognize Israel in near future?
No, I just answered that question that there will be no talk on record and even without the record unless these conditions are met. Israel is a reality, but Palestine also is a reality. Al-Quds is a reality.
That's true.
We cannot give in. If you implement these resolutions, if you two-state solution, and this will happen.
But I think we see realistically that will never happen.
Wallah, you never know. After 150 years, the Chinese took Hong Kong without a bullet being fired. Mandela, when I met him many times, told me he never thought he would come out alive, and he became the president of. You never know what happens next day, believe me.
Unless the conditions of both sides are met, there is a chance. Yes.
And you have to be strong. This is the thing. You have to be strong and keep on. One more thing, and off the record, the Palestinians have also to unite. not have three factions in Gaza, in the West Bank, here and there, and they should have a young leadership. This is my humble advice to them.
खालिद साहब ने माशाल्लाह बड़े तफसील में अच्छा एहसान साहब सवाल पूछना चाह रहे हैं
What do you think the solution of standard Pakistanis in Bangladesh as usual?
अच्छा नहीं वो सवाल आप ज़रा 2 मिनट बाद लीजिएगा ऐसा है कि खालिद साहब ने अरब उस पर बड़े तफसील से रोशनी डाल दी और मेरी दरख्वास्त आप सब के बिहाफ पे ये होगी कि पाकिस्तान के जो मौजूदा हालात हैं उस पर भी कुछ रोशनी डालें और भाई होने के नाते भाई का रिश्ता भी निभाएं भाई हमें भी मुश्किल से निकालें जो मुश्किलात चल रही हैं हम हमेशा सऊदी अरब की तरफ देखते हैं और सऊदी अरब हमारी तरफ देखता रहा है तो हम तो भाई हैं और बुरे वक्तों में एक दूसरे के साथ खड़े भी रहें तो अब आप कुछ रोशनी भी डालें और कुछ भाई का रिश्ता कैसे निभाना है वो भी बताएं
Allah, it is you need a magician या जादूगर to do this. समझे? So and the question is कि Pakistan के problems are too deep. Pakistanis should solve it.
अच्छा असल में खालिद साहब का सर कट रहा था खालिद साहब now please you go ahead
You know, he said solve Pakistan's problem. Only he can solve it. No jadugar, no magician, no person. And the people of Pakistan should do it. Kafi, this factionalism, division, ethnic groups, see, this should go away. आप नोटिस कीजिए कि आपके neighbors, whether they are from the south or from north or east, they are Indians. Here the identification, Balochi, Sindhi, Punjabi, Pathan still exists. So you have to solve it. It's too much. Yes, well said.
कांटों में जो खिलता है शोलों में जो पलता है कांटों में जो खिलता है शोलों में जो पलता है वो पूरी है जो गुलशन की तारीफ बदलता है वाह माशाल्लाह
I didn't translate. You want to go?
आप उस टॉपिक पे स्टैंड पाकिस्तानी पे एडवाइस है पाकिस्तान को क्या करना चाहिए Because this 50 years or so you asked Musharraf also.
You can take old clips of Arab news.
नहीं वो तो वही मैं कह रहा हूँ वो तो already है लेकिन मैं चाहता हूँ
Khalid साहब get closer people want to listen to you
So is Arab news is free on net or you have to subscribe it?
I will tell you later. Stranded Pakistanis, Ambassador Mr. Ihsanul Haq has always been promoting them. Also, Dr. Abdullah Nasif, उन्होंने भी बहुत कोशिश किया. But there was no plan. I think एक ज़माने में they decided to fund some of these people by Saudi Arabia and the OIC and get them to Rabta al-Alam Islami. But political will nahi hai. There is no political will. And also the Bangladesh government was not helpful. Am I right?
Yeah.
It was not helpful at that side. So I don't know. The only thing what we are doing is हमारे Ihsan Saab, we are doing humanitarian aid. And if there is a plan that इनको train करके workers भेजें Middle East में, Africa में and all, it will help. Because they will get out of those camps.
Thank you, Jazakallah khair. I appreciate. If there is no more question, I think Javed Anam is going to conclude because Khalid Almaeena, one more.
So what is your reading? Why all 57 Islamic countries did not progress, and especially They don't have a social justice, or their court system is very poor. It's not transparent, and it's not very prompt, and it's most of the time compromised by the power brokers. So, what is the reason? Is it something in our religion, like we accept injustice, or we too much depend on the divine intervention? What's the problem? Why 57 countries are not smart? Because my newer generation here, Muslims in America, these kids ask, give us a role model where it succeeds in today's time, and we don't have it.
But you see, injustice and all is everywhere. But I don't have an answer, frankly speaking. If I had the answer, I would tell you. Like you, I think the same way, that we should advance. But right now, in the Muslim world, the younger generation is going ahead, whether Southeast Asia, whether the Arab world. So it will take one generation more to reach what you are saying. People now realize social media bhi hai aajkal, aap jante hain. The social media, news travels fast, role models are changing. So once that is done, maybe inshallah it will happen. But don't give up. I never gave up.
नहीं, गिव अप तो नहीं करना चाहिए खालिद साहब, क्योंकि उसी में आपकी उम्मीद कायम है। और अब ऐसा करें कि अगर सवालात ख़त्म हो गए हैं तो हम फिर आखिरी मराहिल में दाखिल हो रहे हैं। किसी दोस्त को कोई सवाल पूछना है? खालिद साहब, मैं ज़रा बाहर और अंदर बाहर हो रहा था, तो आपने भाई के साथ करने का कोई अंदिया दिया है? दे दिया है?
I said we are not magicians. हम लोग मैजिक नहीं है। पाकिस्तान के problems will be solved by never give up. पाकिस्तान में अच्छे लोग हैं, top quality people. They should be given a chance. Whenever I meet Pakistanis outside, like you all, and the younger generation, believe you me, their ambition, उनकी हिम्मत, उनकी aspiration, akhlaq and deen. I went 4 or 5 mosques just to go and see. MashaAllah, even in Maghrib, in Vaughan, there is a mosque. Kullam Shabab, modern people wearing T-shirts and all. So, combination of deen, akhlaq, and rule of law will help them.
खालिद साहब, बहुत शुक्रिया, और आप दोस्तों का भी बहुत शुक्रिया। एक छोटा सा तोहफ़ा खालिद साहब की खिदमत में पेश करना चाहेंगे। वसीम हैदर साहब और एहसान साहब से दरख्वास्त करूँगा कि वो तोहफ़ा हम सब के बिहाफ पे खालिद साहब के लिए पेश करें। ही इज़ द गाइड, वसीम हैदर। आप यू मस्ट हैव। आ जाएँ एहसान, आ जाएँ आप, और साथ हैंड ओवर करें। आ जाओ एहसान, यू कम हियर।
इसको ओपन कर दें,
इसमें हाँ 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 हाँ।
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It is my pleasure and honor, inshallah. And before I come again, if Allah wills, so I will call Mr.
जावेद नाम।
Yes.
खालिद साहब, आपको भूल नहीं सकते हम। आप बड़े अच्छे दोस्त, बड़े अच्छे साथी हैं, बड़े अच्छे राइटर हैं, बड़े अच्छे ओरेटर हैं। काश हम में भी ये सलाहियतें होती तो आज हम भी खालिद अलमईना होते, लेकिन मैं सिर्फ जावेद नाम रह गया और ये सिर्फ एहसानुल हक रह गया।
एहसानुल हक इज द रोल मॉडल।
श्योर श्योर, बहुत शुक्रिया। और आप तमाम, बिल्कुल आप तमाम दोस्तों का बड़ा शुक्रिया, बड़ी नवाजिश आप लोग आए, और खालिद साहब को ही नहीं, हम सबको भी बड़ी इज़्ज़त बख्शी, और इंशाल्लाह आइंदा भी मिलते रहेंगे। तो ऐसा है कि खाना तैयार है, हम एक ग्रुप फ़ोटो 1-2 बना के फिर खाने पे मिलते हैं।
मैं क्या सजेस्ट करूँगा कि खालिद साहब यहाँ बैठ जाएं एंड अदर पीपल कैन स्टैंड ऑन द बैक।
खालिद साहब के साथ कई लोग बैठ जाएं।
नहीं, वही कहना है,
मिडिल में एक चेयर कर देते हैं, ठीक है ना? खालिद साहब, नाइस सर।